Hedonic eating is a term used to describe eating for pleasure, rather than out of hunger or nutritional need. It often occurs when your body is physically full, but you still crave food for the sensory satisfaction it brings. This kind of eating can be driven by the taste, texture, or aroma of food, as well as emotional factors like stress, boredom, or even happiness. While occasional indulgence is a normal part of life, consistent hedonic eating can lead to overeating, weight gain, and health issues, making it important to understand the triggers and how to manage them. Many people experience hedonic eating because of the way food is intertwined with emotions. Comfort food, for instance, is a prime example. When you're feeling stressed, anxious, or sad, eating something familiar and delicious can provide a temporary sense of relief. The act of eating triggers the release of dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical, which reinforces the behavior and makes you more likely to seek out food for emotional comfort in the future. The problem with hedonic eating is that it often leads to overconsumption, since the motivation to eat comes from desire rather than need. When your stomach is full but your heart is not, you're more likely to keep eating, even when you don't need the calories. This type of eating behavior can contribute to weight gain and make it harder to maintain a healthy diet. Understanding why hedonic eating happens is the first step in managing it. For many, it's about more than just enjoying the taste of food. It's about fulfilling an emotional need. In moments of stress, loneliness, or boredom, food can become a source of comfort or distraction. However, using food as an emotional crutch can create an unhealthy cycle, where you eat to feel better, only to feel guilty or uncomfortable afterward, leading to even more emotional eating. One of the biggest triggers for hedonic eating is the availability of highly palatable, calorie-dense foods. Processed snacks, sugary desserts, and fast food are designed to be irresistible, with just the right combination of fat, sugar, and salt to make them enjoyable to eat. These foods can be difficult to resist, even when you're not physically hungry, because they activate the brain's reward centers. The pleasure of eating something indulgent can override your body's signals that you're already full. In addition to the allure of certain foods, portion sizes also play a role in hedonic eating. Many people are conditioned to finish everything on their plate, regardless of hunger levels. When faced with large portions, it's easy to keep eating past the point of fullness simply because the food is there. Restaurants and food manufacturers often serve larger portions than necessary, contributing to this cycle of overeating. To combat hedonic eating, it's essential to develop strategies for mindful eating. Mindful eating is the practice of being fully present during meals, paying attention to the flavors, textures, and sensations of eating, and recognizing when your body is truly satisfied. This can help you become more in tune with your hunger and fullness cues, allowing you to stop eating when you're full, even if your emotions are still pulling you toward more food. One effective strategy for managing hedonic eating is to identify emotional triggers. Keep track of when you're most likely to reach for food when you're not hungry. Is it when you're stressed from work, when you're bored at home, or maybe when you're celebrating something? Recognizing these patterns can help you address the emotional needs driving your eating behavior. Once you know your triggers, you can work on finding non-food ways to cope with those emotions, such as going for a walk, calling a friend, or practicing relaxation techniques. Another important aspect of managing hedonic eating is to create a more balanced relationship with food. It's not about depriving yourself of the pleasure that comes from eating, but rather about finding a healthy balance between enjoying food and nourishing your body. Allow yourself to enjoy treats in moderation without guilt, and focus on eating a variety of nutritious foods that make you feel good in the long term. Creating a balanced diet that includes satisfying, nutrient-rich foods can help curb the urge for hedonic eating. When your body is well-nourished, you're less likely to crave indulgent, calorie-dense foods. Focus on incorporating whole foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains into your meals. These foods provide essential nutrients and can help you feel fuller for longer, reducing the desire to overeat. In addition to making healthier food choices, it can also be helpful to manage portion sizes. Serve yourself smaller portions of indulgent foods and practice savoring each bite. Eating slowly and mindfully allows you to enjoy the flavors and textures of food without overeating. You can also try using smaller plates or bowls to help control portions and avoid the temptation to eat more than you need. It's also important to be aware of your environment. The setting in which you eat can influence how much you consume. Eating in front of the TV or while scrolling through your phone, for example, can lead to mindless eating, where you're less likely to notice when you're full. Try to create a calm, distraction-free environment when you eat, so you can focus on your meal and listen to your body's hunger cues. If you find yourself struggling with hedonic eating regularly, it may be helpful to explore the underlying emotional factors contributing to the behavior. For some people, unresolved emotional issues or chronic stress can play a significant role in emotional eating patterns. Talking to a therapist or counselor can help you better understand your relationship with food and develop healthier coping mechanisms for dealing with emotional stress. In some cases, people turn to hedonic eating as a way to reward themselves. After a long day or accomplishing something, food may seem like a treat. While it's okay to celebrate with food occasionally, it's important to find other ways to reward yourself that don't involve eating. Whether it's taking a relaxing bath, treating yourself to a favorite book, or enjoying some quality time with friends, finding non-food rewards can help break the cycle of using food for emotional gratification. When cravings strike, another strategy that can help is delaying the urge to eat. Sometimes, cravings for hedonic eating pass if you give yourself a little time. If you're not truly hungry but still feel the desire to eat, try waiting for 10 to 15 minutes before deciding if you'll indulge. During that time, engage in another activity that keeps you distracted, such as going for a walk, stretching, or even drinking a glass of water. By giving yourself a pause, you can better assess whether you're eating out of hunger or habit. It's also important to remember that everyone experiences hedonic eating at times. Food is a source of pleasure and connection, and there's nothing wrong with enjoying it. The key is to find balance and not let hedonic eating become a regular habit that interferes with your health or well-being. By practicing mindful eating, recognizing emotional triggers, and finding alternative ways to cope with stress or boredom, you can maintain a healthier relationship with food. In conclusion, hedonic eating is a common experience for many people, driven by the desire for pleasure or emotional comfort. While indulging occasionally is normal, consistently turning to food when your stomach is full but your heart is not can lead to overeating and potential health issues. The key to managing hedonic eating is mindfulness, being aware of your emotions, recognizing your triggers, and finding healthier ways to satisfy your emotional needs. With practice, you can enjoy food for both its nourishment and pleasure while maintaining a balanced approach to eating.